Welcome to Think Different podcast. It's a pleasure having you on the platform, Mr. Robert Miller, also known as Big Rob. I was
Thank
told
you very
that
much.
from NCU days. You're most welcome. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. Thanks for having me.
Great, great. So I realized that your motto is leadership with purpose. How does having a clear purpose help protect your mental health when things get stressful?
Well, things can be very stressful, especially with a job that I entails, and having a clear path as to where you want to go, as to the stuff that you want to achieve is very important. My life is operated by a structure.
Right.
So although I'm not necessarily a structured person, but I have to do that because if I do not do that,
Yeah.
then things will go AY, right?
Right, yeah.
So I'm an early riser.
Nice.
I wake up early in the mornings, like 5:30,
Yes.
and my body shut down like 9 p.m. I
Wow.
can be on the road, but my body's still shut down at that time. So I can tell you when it's 9 p.m. And
Oh,
if I should go to bed like 9
yes.
and I'll wake up like 5:30. I'll wake up in the night like maybe 1 o'clock, go back 2 o'clock, and then, wake up back by 5:30. If I go to bed like 4, I'll still wake up back at 5:30. That's just how I am. So my life is run by a structure. In the morning, I'll do some reflections
Right.
in terms of what I want to achieve. So I will be in the bed still after 5, but I'm doing some reflection as to what I want to conquer for the entire day and my plans for the day, secure a path in achieving those plans. And in the
Yeah.
evening hours, I'll do a reflection as to what I could have done differently today.
Yes. And how long have you been doing that? Because your body seemed to be functioning completely accurate with the times.
I wouldn't say accurate, but I definitely try. I've been this type of person for quite some time from high school days.
Oh,
I'm involved in a lot of stuff. When I'm involved in a lot of stuff, it forces me to operate on the structure.
okay.
And when I operate on the structure, it assisted me in achieving my goals and objectives.
Nice.
So it's quite some time I'm immune like this. I'm like this, and that's who I am.
Nice. That's really good. You mentioned high school. Which school was that?
I went to the best high school in the Caribbean.
Let us hear
That
it.
has to be the Bridgeport High School in Portmore.
Okay, nice. You're from St.
So
Catherine.
I'm from Spanish Town originally.
Yeah.
I lived in Spanish Town. When I lived in Spanish Town, I went to Spanish Town Infant, Spanish Town Primary, and
Oh,
then I moved to Edgewater when I left Spanish Town Infant.
right.
And was living in Edgewater, and then I was attending Spanish Town Primary. And then when I moved back to Spanish Town because of parents,
Okay,
I
yeah.
moved back to Spanish Town, and then I was attending Bridgeport High School. So
Oh,
basically, all my life, I've lived in Portmore and Spanish Town, whether school or living.
okay, nice. It's interesting. But
Then after high school, I went to Northern Caribbean University,
nice.
where I pursued associate degree in business administration and a bachelor's of science in secondary teacher ed, emphasis in business. Then I left Northern Caribbean University. I went to La Sierra University in California, where
Oh,
I did MBA in marketing.
right.
When I left La Sierra University, I was toying with the idea of the law thing, wanted to do law when I was younger.
Yes.
And, the church members at my church said that if you do law, you're not going to heaven. So
You know,
that
that
went
goes
through the
early.
window. It's one of the things you don't want to hear,
Yeah, right.
and that went through the window. But, when I looked at my church and even the General Conference,
Right.
I don't know if you're a Seventh-day Adventist, but General Conference is a body
Yes.
that governs all Seventh-day Adventist Church in Jamaica. When I analyze the General Conference and the one floor is full of lawyers,
Wow.
right? Is it to say that they're not going to heaven?
Heaven.
So I toyed with the idea and I went through University of London. I did 2 years of law school, which
Nice.
was a culture shock for me because
Oh,
I failed land law. And
wow.
I realized that the failure rate for land law is really high. And it's the first course that I've
Wow.
ever failed at the tertiary level, so
Oh.
that went through the window.
That sounds strong.
Yeah, it just went through the window, bearing in mind that
Yes.
I did the English language 5 times before I got a grade three in
Oh,
CC. And I attended the University of the West Indies, where I started a PhD program, and I transferred that program to ACCA University in Phoenix, Arizona,
nice.
where I'm hoping to wrap up my PhD studies.
Okay, that's good. I mean, you sound definitely like a scholar.
No, no,
You've really plugged yourself in the educational system.
I'm really average. I have to go to school to assist me, but I'm really average.
Okay, well, fair enough. You want to be moderate about it. It's okay. It's fine.
On a serious note, I'm really
Okay.
average. I think
Okay.
I'm a late starter.
Uh-huh.
I think I want to get it done because of self-gratification.
Oh,
But
okay.
I want to give back to my alma mater one day.
Right.
And in order to lead a university, you must have a PhD, right?
Right.
So
Yeah.
that's one of the main reasons. I love the field that I'm studying. It's a mixture of politics and marketing,
Right.
and it's political marketing, and it's the first in the Caribbean. So it's something that I want to do as well
Yeah.
in terms of running political campaigns in the Caribbean and internationally. So, no, that's something up my stream, and that's something that I want to get done.
Nice. And I wish you all the best with that. Wish you all the best.
Thank you.
So, as an educator and a marketer, I know you must connect with a lot of people, different types of people. But what is the secret that keeps you calm and patient in those roles?
People are people. People always have their own issues. People always have their own ways of doing stuff.
Right.
I've learned from a tender age, how to navigate the raindrops, how to satisfy people. I'm naturally a calm person. I don't worry or fret about anything. The truth is, why sitting there? You'll worry about stuff, but after a while, you just have to drop it, right? Because
Yeah, that's
worrying
true.
about it won't change stuff.
Yes.
I'm this type of person that tries to find the solutions to the problems that one encounters. And I am a strong believer that I can interact with just about anyone. I have a philosophy, even in my business, that the same treatment that you give to the king and the queen should be
Yes.
the same treatment that you give to the janitor.
True. That's
I
true.
am a tickler for good customer service. So I've found a way strategically and naturally to really deal with people depending on the type of issues that they come with, to try
Right.
to ensure that when they leave my presence, they are more calm, they are more relaxed. And in marketing, you have been taught that you must meet people at their level. And when they're leaving your presence, that they must be above where they came.
And that's
So, that's a philosophy that guided me through the years. And that's what maintained me.
and that's a good approach. That's very commendable for you to do.
One of the problem though that I have is that I undertake people issues onto myself.
Wow.
I take it very personal, so that affects me more time, in my little quiet time.
Yeah.
But I try as best as possible to see how best I can assist without really getting too attached to the
Right.
situation.
Right. So you empathize a lot with people's situation. And I think probably that's why you connect with people so easily.
Really.
I don't like how that's I don't like how that sounds. But yes, yes. So one of the ways that you adapted to think differently from others, what allows you to stand out in your thinking?
Well, I think my level of international exposure,
Right,
my level of serving in various capacities, and seeing how the real world operates. I'm from a very poor family, but my family was always pushy, was always serious about education.
right.
My dad was a banker. My dad died. My dad basically cut off the bank manager and left the work
Wow.
when I just left high school. So my mom is a housewife. So I
Okay.
had to fend for myself.
Right.
From then, my mom never had formal education. My dad had
Okay.
formal education, but up to the secondary school level. And he went to a school by the name of IMP back in the past and did some certification.
Okay.
So of a fact, and I was the only one that did not pass common entrance. I never wasn't recommended in grade 4. You might be too young to know about common entrance. I was
Yes.
not, I was not recommended in grade 4. I
Yes.
was not recommended in grade 5.
Oh.
And I was not recommended in grade 6.
Oh.
And grade 4, once you're recommended in grade 4, it's because of, how should I put it? You're the cream of the crop. So you are recommended in grade 4 to sit the common entrance.
Right.
No, I was not the cream of the crop. And in grade 5, so grade 4, if you're extra bright, you'll be recommended. I was
Right.
not. And then grade 5 is the first choice that you'll get. I was not recommended in grade 5. In grade 6,
Mm.
my teacher said, no, I'm not going to let him do it. My grade 1 teacher, Miss Icklin,
Yeah.
and Miss Bedford, and spoke to my grade 6 teacher for an hour and a half, begging
Right.
him to allow me to sit the common entrance. And eventually he said, all right, I'm going to let him sit the common entrance, but I'm going to show you.
Yes.
I said, never pass. And I got the opportunity to sit the common entrance. And surprisingly, I surprised myself. I
Wow.
even surprised the teacher. Miss Icklin, I did not pass. I proved my grade 6 teacher correct. So it was a difficult time for me back then. Your name was published in the papers. If you passed, which school you passed for. If you
Oh,
didn't
a lot
pass
of
for a
pressure.
school, your parents had to try and find a placement in a school. I went to Willowdene High School. My grandmother was paying the tuition. She died after my
Oh,
first year. My parents couldn't afford it. And then I got a space in Bridgeport High School.
right.
So, of a fact, I am the only one in my family to obtain a tertiary education. Because although
Wow.
my sister passed, my brother passed, I did not pass.
Right.
But I'm the only one to obtain a tertiary level degree. Now, with the exposure that I've gotten, studying overseas, working overseas with the boards that I've chaired in Jamaica, being a legislator, it forces me to read more. It forces me to do more research as to
Right,
how other countries operate, first world country,
right, yeah.
as to how I would want to see my country in the next 20, 30 years. And it forces me to do things differently. It
Mm,
forces me to be on the alert, be on the cutting edge, being there as a conduit for persons who I serve. So the truth is that if you're not seeing the norms in other countries and how you can improve the situation in your own country, then
yes,
something is wrong.
that's true.
So that's what basically navigated me.
Nice. That's a very interesting life there. Very interesting. I'm really glad that you're on top of things, and I know that you would want to do much more, and you're getting there. But you've served as an MP for St. Catherine Southeast. Most people don't see the behind the scenes pressure of politics. How do you keep your mind right during those intense years?
Can be very stressful. The people are unforgiving. The
Mm,
people can be very ungrateful.
mm,
It's a very noble job, but a very uncaring job. You
wow.
know, you have to keep your own peace of mind
Right.
because if you follow people, you will even give away the shirt on your back.
Wow.
And, you know, your family will be deprived, you will be deprived. The politics can run in poverty because people really don't think, they believe that you are, first of all, it takes a lot to run politics.
Right.
That's the first thing. A lot of people believe that the party fund your campaign. Yes, the party will assist,
Right. Yeah.
no, but majority of it, you would have to fund your own campaign. The party believes that, people believe that, you know, the government of Jamaica, once you're a member of parliament, will give you resources to distribute. It doesn't operate like that. You know,
Okay.
that's the quickest way for you to be incarcerated. And
Wow.
I'm a little bit too old now to be going to prison and to be
Serve
wearing
time your
short
cards.
pants, right?
Yeah.
So it can be very ungrateful. It can be very stressful,
Mm,
but I am always truthful to my purpose. So if I can do, I will do.
fair enough.
If I can't, I'll tell you that I can't. But
Right.
some persons do not like no for an answer.
Mm,
You know, so it's a constituency that I represented in 2020, went
right.
in 2018.
Right.
It's traditionally leaning to the opposition party. And I would have won in 2020 over 30 odd years. We have not won that constituency.
Right.
And it was a pleasure for me to serve. I have done a lot within the years combined
Nice.
of the members of parliament before me. You know, persons wouldn't have dreamt that so many things could have been done in 5 years.
Yes.
However, you know, the persons, it's a constituency that is highly condensed with middle class,
Oh,
and young professionals.
right.
They It's in Portmore, where I used to live, where I went to school, and where my wife is from.
Right.
And it's very personal to me to be representing a constituency that grew me as an individual.
Right.
So I would have done a lot of infrastructural work, a lot of new development, the Resilience Park, a park that wanted to be developed for over 40 years. It's a dust bowl to persons in the vicinity, and it was a health hazard. And eventually, you know, the municipal council got money to develop climate change park
Right.
that went through the window as well. But I managed to implemented the plan.
Nice.
And a lot of work, but persons in those in constituency like that, they have the biggest plans, the biggest idea what they want
Right.
for their surrounding, their personal community, but they don't exercise their right to vote.
Mm.
And that is a problem. So I would have lost the constituency last year, September 3rd, by 469 votes. But it was very disappointing to me, something that I love, I'm passionate about.
Right,
I'm
right.
still there, I'm still maintaining the constituency, and I'm regrouping to go again.
That's good. I like the willpower there. I like the
Yes.
willpower. But in politics and marketing, I mean, you deal with a lot of people or with the public's opinion. How do you maintain, your mental state with dealing with what people are saying online and in the news? How do you navigate all those comments?
So I know the type of person who I am.
Right.
I know the job that I'm in. There's always the negative.
Yeah.
Once you enter politics, it's a perception that you're a corrupt person.
Mm.
Once you enter politics, it is always a notion that you're in there to what you can get. I went in politics with my own. I
Mm.
don't need anything from
Right.
anyone. Might sound very cocky or but that's just me personally. I
Yeah.
work for what is mine, right?
Right.
So you'll always hear that what I do is, as I told you earlier, my meditation in the nights and in the mornings
Yeah.
might sound cliche, but I'm not a perfect person, but I'm highly spiritual.
Nice.
So that keeps my level as well. I am also in tune with family time. I ensure not much time was given to my family, but
Yeah.
I ensure that I still have the family time that is needed.
Right.
I ensure that I spend time with friends, which is
Balance.
extremely important.
Yeah.
So I do even a weekend, I do that to get away, just so and do stuff that I love. So I love sports. I love giving back voluntarily. So I tend to do a lot of those stuff. I will travel with reggae boys all over Canada, Costa Rica.
Great.
I'll travel with reggae boys. I'll go to a tracks meet. I'll do those stuff that, and of course, I definitely would travel to UK to watch the best team Chelsea play. So I do those stuff,
Okay.
so as to relax my mind, and I don't wait for a disaster, so to speak.
Yes.
I will visit my counselor and I will have a counseling session, so I tend to do that. I would do my little exercise, not every morning, but just to relax my mind.
Right. Yes.
And I will ensure that I have my regular checkup with my medical practitioner. And I'll do those stuff to ensure that, everything is intact.
And I like that. Not a lot of people take it so serious and think that it's very important. Some people are like, oh, I'm going to get over it, or probably I just need to relax a little bit. But you have actually placed a structure where you say, this is a part of my daily schedule. I have to ensure that my mind, my body, and soul is intact. So that is really good. But how do you transition from being an MP to your current role? What was the mental shift like for you?
Well, as I said, it was rough. However, this is who I am.
Right,
Being an MP is just a surplus,
right.
an opportunity. You're looking at a population in Jamaica of over 3 million and you only have 63 out of that 3 million that are selected to serve as a member of parliament. It's a
Right.
blessing,
Definitely.
the opportunity to serve. So I wasn't an MP all the days of my life,
Yeah.
so I'm always one to really transition from any avenue that I'm at, bearing in mind though, that is disappointing that I've lost,
Right.
and I thought that I would have won. That's
Mm.
the first step. However, life goes on. So whatever since in my life, I try not to be the Mr. Joneses of this world,
Yes.
right? So I'm always level on
Yeah.
the gully side, I would call it.
Right.
So I try not to live a life that is not mine,
Right.
so I'm very comfortable in my skin. I'm very comfortable with what I've achieved at such a young age and an
Right.
opportunity to serve also on many boards, right? So
Right.
it's not a Gladys night and the Pips. It's not a don't see and come see, right?
Right.
So certain things don't. So when I was member of parliament, I still joined the line at the bank.
Mm.
I still join lines at the tax office to pay my speeding ticket. When police stop me, I don't tell them that I'm a member of parliament, right?
Yeah.
I still live my normal life.
Nice.
I drive what I can afford
Makes
until
a
I can
difference.
afford. So my dream car is a Range Rover.
Oh, nice.
I've never owned a Range Rover before because it's out
Right.
of my range now.
Yes. Why
But
that selection in a car?
repeat,
Why that selection? Why Range Rover?
a Range Rover, I love sexy vehicles. I love sexy things. Right?
Okay.
A Range Rover
Okay.
is classic. A Range
Yeah.
Rover is unique,
Yeah.
sophisticated, all the great adjectives you can find, just like I'm a BMW person,
Right.
right? I've owned a BMW,
Yes.
right? So my next, just like I love the Pajero over the Prado
Right.
because the Pajero is more sexy, right?
Yes.
So the Range Rover is out of my range now.
Right.
I'm not going to do stuff that is not in line with my morals and values to obtain a Range Rover.
That's
So
fair.
I will work hard until one day I can afford a Range Rover.
Right.
I'm just saying that I live my normal life
Makes
and
sense.
I reach a point in my life where I don't care what people want to say about Big Rob because
That's
I
good.
know who Big Rob is. And it took years of low self-esteem
Mm.
for me to reach where I'm at. Because growing up,
Yes.
I was bullied at school.
Oh, wow.
My cousin was the dean of discipline.
Yeah.
And when he would discipline a student, they would take it out on me,
Oh,
right?
yes.
Not only that, but when I was 10 years of age,
Yes.
I was wearing size 10. When I
Wow.
was 11, I was wearing size 11, 12, size 12, 13, size 13. I was
So your feet match up with
worried
your age. Wow.
because I had to go to the shoemaker to make shoes for me every
Custom.
summer.
Wow.
And it wasn't the best looking of shoes. So I was
Wow.
teased in high school, right?
Right.
But then I was home for 1 week and I said, you know, these persons are learning at school and I'm wallowing in my pity.
Mm.
You
Mhm.
know, I have a big body because from grade 9, I was the biggest student in high school.
Oh, wow.
What if I was created with a small foot? Maybe I would drop every minute, right?
Yes.
So in Jamaica, we
Yes,
say
that's
drop,
true.
we understand, we'll fall every minute,
Right.
you know? And I had to get up and develop that level of self-confidence. People saying that I'm cocky, but they don't know the story
Right,
behind the story. I
right,
know I reached there, right?
right,
So
right.
I had to develop that level of self-confidence within me.
Yes, and that's what help pushes you and motivates you the most.
And now I buy some of the best looking shoes,
Okay,
right?
what I do?
Then I could afford one. Now I can afford a good amount,
Nice,
right? So
nice,
I'm
yes.
just saying that it's just a thing with me. Even if you should say that, listen, that's a nice tie.
Yeah,
So words of affirmation means nothing to me, right?
right.
That's not my love language.
Mm,
Might sound very disrespectful. I'll tell you thanks, but deep down, it doesn't mean anything to me
right,
because before I bought the tie, I knew it looked good. That's why I bought it, right? So I developed that level of self-confidence.
right.
Right? So I tend to live my life and I don't look at people's life
Mm,
because one of the things I was sharing with a friend this week, we saw a Range Rover
hmm.
and I said, what a sexy vehicle. And the person said, what's the cost for that vehicle now? And I told the person. And the person said, why you don't get one? And I said, because it's out of my range now.
Right.
And then the person said that you don't know what the person that is driving it is going through to maintain that vehicle,
That is
which is
true.
true,
It's very
right?
true.
So in law school, they teach you you can rent a board house because clients don't come to your house,
Hmm.
but you must drive a good vehicle.
Because you're driving to the client.
Because you drive into the client and they'll see a vehicle and the perception of people will
Naturally.
say because you're driving a good vehicle, you're wealthy.
True. That's
They
true.
could lease the vehicle, they could rent the vehicle,
True.
right? So I try to live my life and I don't go above my means, right? And I
Right.
try to plan stuff for my life. That's why my life is a structure, right?
Right.
To ensure that. So it wasn't a hard transition for me. It's a part of the politics. You win some, you lose some. Some of the best politicians in Jamaica, they have lost their seats.
Mm.
Bobsy Grange lost her seat first time she ran.
Wow.
Andrew Willis lost before as prime minister.
Yeah.
Bruce Golding lost as member of parliament when
Yes.
he went to NDM. He lost, right?
Right.
Frank Witter lost. Bobby Montague lost. Chris Tufton lost. Kerencia Morrison lost. Horace Chang lost.
Mm.
Ed Bartlett lost. Damian Crawford lost.
Wow.
Dayton Campbell lost. So who am I?
To
So
not
it
do.
wasn't a hard transition for me. One of the things
Yes.
is that I maintain my business,
Okay.
right? One
Yeah.
of the things, thanks be to God, I'm qualified. I'm a trained teacher by profession. There will always be jobs for teachers.
Right. Yeah. That's
I
true.
lecture at the university level. There will always be jobs.
That's true.
So it wasn't a hard transition for me.
That's good. And you're an educator at heart, and you look at how the youths are today in Jamaica, their thinking, their behavior. What do you think is the biggest mental health challenge you see that they face?
Self-esteem,
Mm,
I and the willingness to empower self,
right.
self-confidence. I think personally we have lost a generation.
Wow. That's deep.
The bleaching, the the things that go with it. I was coming down the other day from the United States of America and I met a girl. She was staring at me in the airport. I was coming down with my family.
Right,
And I so happened to sit in the plane
right.
and she was the seat right beside me. Very beautiful girl. And my wife was in front of me and my son was to my wife. And she signaled to me and I said, yes, it's my wife. And my son, she asked me for my number. I didn't give her my number.
Yeah,
And then I met her a couple of weeks after. She reminded me where we met.
right.
And she said, can I have your number now? And I said, no, that's all right. And then she said, where do you work? And I said, I'm unemployed. And I kid you not, the girl said, that's okay. I don't need a number. I don't date broke pocket men.
Ah, yeah.
Have a great life.
Wow.
And I said, thank you, Apridance.
Okay.
I'm just saying to you that people are low in confidence.
Right.
People don't know their true potential. So I would take heart to some persons I would see on the gully side in the constituency. And I would say, listen, if you go hard, I'll pay for you to go. I'll give you a stipend. I'll give you a lunch every day. Hart will give you a lunch every day. I'll
Nice.
give you a stipend. That's before Hart came out with a stipend. I said, boss, I'm on a time,
Wow.
on a time. And it pushes me personally, and it's something that I've always wanted to do. It pushes me to go and learn a skill at heart in the same time. And I went to heart. As busy as I was, I
Nice.
went and did plumbing. To
Okay.
ask me to fix your pipe now is a different story.
I can't.
But
Yeah.
I'll get experience.
Right.
And I went to heart and did plumbing to show them that, listen, it can be done.
Right. Right.
Some persons need that extra push. Some persons need that motivation. And some persons need to just believe in themselves.
Sure. Yes. Yes. So, what is one simple piece of advice you'd give to a young leader who is feeling burnt out, or they're overwhelmed?
Take some time for self. There has to be some time daily for self. Some reflection has to take place and spend more time with family and loved ones.
Mm,
Self-care is extremely important because at the end of the day, you have various types of leadership, but at the end of the day, you're serving persons.
right.
And at times, majority of the times,
Yeah.
not appreciated, sadly.
Yikes.
So self-care is extremely important. If I could do things over, I'm not saying that I didn't spend time with family, but I would spend more time with my family
Right.
and friends. Sometimes I had to leave to certain functions, drop my son off at school. It's a
Yeah.
surprise giving, and I couldn't stay because I had other functions.
Oh, wow.
Hindsight, if I could turn back the hands of time, I would have stayed. I would have spent more time with
Right.
them. So advice, hint, hint, self-care, and more time with families and friends.
Yes, that's a good one. But as a family man, how do you draw the line between busy professional life and your home life to make sure you have time to recharge?
All right, so for me, I'm always of the belief that my family is the first ministry.
Right.
So if I have a home that is not functioning, rest assured it will be functioning by somebody else.
Yes.
I have to ensure that my home is well functioning. I have
Yeah.
to ensure that I'm present, especially in my son's life,
Yes.
right? He's of an age where he needs a father figure around him. I have to ensure that my father was present. I have
Mm-hmm.
to ensure that I'm
Important.
present for him.
Yeah.
And you have to strike the balance, knowing for a fact that family comes first.
True.
If you have a dysfunctional home, you can't function. You won't have the mental health to really deal with other persons.
True. That's true.
Or are you going to advise other persons as well? Right.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my first ministry. And once that side is comfortable, then I normally strive to do what needs to be done.
Right. If you could go back and talk to Robert Miller of 10 years ago, what would you tell him about taking care of his mind?
It's very important for stability, for good mental health.
Yes.
The mindset has to be in order for you to function accurately.
Yes.
So it's very important. The truth is that Robert Miller 10 years ago always took care of Robert Miller.
Nice.
But it's just that Robert Miller 10 years ago to now is more wiser,
Mm.
has more experiences,
Yes.
and know for a fact that there still more needs to be done for Robert Miller.
Yes.
The truth is there is never much time in the world
Mm.
that you can spend on yourself.
That's so true. Deep.
And since September 3rd, 2025,
Yes.
I have been more purposeful. I have been more deliberate. I have been more forceful
Mm.
to spend more attention, more time to Robert Miller.
That's really good. It's really, really good. What does it mean to you to truly choose Jamaica when it comes on to mental well-being of our nation?
It means a lot. This is where I plan to live. This is where I want to stay. I think more needs to be done in the education system in terms of mental health.
Right.
There's a lot of persons that are going all about the place that are going through some rough time. They might have a smile on their
Yes.
faces, but of a fact, they're going through rough times. So more needs to be done in terms of mental health. As males, I think more needs to be done in our segment or cohort in terms of male needs to speak up more, male needs to get more counseling,
Yeah.
and male needs to take care of themselves.
So
So
true.
a simple thing like for me, I'm a biggie on hygiene, so I love scent, I love all of those stuff. A simple thing as cutting your hair. I cut my hair twice a week.
Yeah.
Taking care of self, it's extremely important.
So true. Where can people follow your journey and learn more about your leadership projects?
Well, you can follow me on social media platforms, Robert B.R. Miller. I'm on IG, I'm on Twitter, I'm on Instagram, I'm on X, so persons can follow me there.
Okay, that's good. And I'll definitely have the information in the description so persons can see the links. Thank you for being on the platform and sharing your deep insights on life and who Robert Miller is, and letting people understand you from more of the mental side and not just the politics and not just the educator or the marketer, So I really appreciate you being on the platform.
Thanks for having me, and it was a pleasure.